For the most exciting stage of the EuroPro Tour season, we've come to one of the most exciting venues for the WPT Championship. This is the Oxfordshire. Now in its 20th year, the Oxfordshire is one of the finest golf resorts in the country. This former European Tour venue hosted the Benson & Hedges International for 4 consecutive years, won by the likes of Darren Clarke, Bernhard Langer and Colin Montgomerie. This Champions course was designed and built by prolific architect Rhys Jones, his first in Britain, with tactical bunkering, 135 in total, 4 strategically placed lakes, and wispy rough. At over 7,300 yards, this course is the longest that the players will play this season on the EuroPro Tour, and it's especially tough if the wind blows, and it is blowing today. The 500 world's greatest golf holes feature the 8th and 17th here at the Oxfordshire, and later in the show, John E. Morgan will be taking a closer look at them and picking a couple more he feels will present a challenge this week. You can also expect some more tips from the Tour's resident pro as he takes on some of the toughest holes on the course, including this one behind me, very challenging, par 5 8th. Kit Alexander from Today's Golfer catches up with some of the pros on the tour, including Daniel Gavins, who won last week, and our 3D flyovers make a welcome return to the Oxfordshire. But before all that, 156 players teed off in round 1. Let's see who's in contention for the 10k first prize here at the WPT Championship. Well, here we are on the putting green. The lead is getting ready to go out. Just a couple of putts before they head to the first tee. George Woolgar in the blue there. Who would bet against him winning his 3rd EuroPro Tour title? But alongside him today, William Harold, a course record equaling 64 on the second day. An impressive round from him, and both of them will be looking forward to a terrific final round. Let's head over to your commentators.
Yeah, thanks. It is Woolgar in front by just one, though, from William Harold. A leaderboard dominated by Englishmen. Tim Dykes apart, but with the top 14 actually separated by just 6 shots. It's an afternoon where hopes will be high for quite a few in the final round of this WPT Championship. Alongside me is Ross McFarlane, and Ross, it's a course you know pretty well, and scoring so far this week has been pretty good to say the least.
Yeah, obviously the way that the weather has been and the courses have been running with the fine summer we've had has brought this 7,300 yard monster to its knees a bit.
William Harold just missing the fairway here at the opening hole, 446 yards. Here's our overnight leader, George Woolgar.
Water down the right hand side, big bunkers down there too.
The spin of the driver suggests he likes it, and it's a pretty good result. Avoided that bunker down the right hand side, and that is absolutely perfect. Of course, just off the back of a win a couple of weeks ago. Let's look at these 2 swings, Ross.
Yeah, Harold on the left, Woolgar on the right. Very steady there, you see on the backswing of Harold. Gets his weight a little bit stuck on his left side, but a very powerful top of the backswing position. Good rotation there for Woolgar, much more wrist hinge and a lower hand position. And you'll see impact almost exactly the same for both players. And those high flowing follow-throughs of young athletic men.
He says with a tinge of jealousy. Onto the green at number 1, Connor Fletcher, who led after day 1 with a round of 65. This to try and save par, and that's a disappointing start.
For those of you who know this golf course, they're playing it the other way around. This is the 10th hole as the members will play.
Well, I mentioned there was only one non-Englishman on the leaderboard, and here he is, the Welshman Tim Dykes, second to the 551-yard par 5. 4 lakes on this course, and as you can see where the flag is at the first, the second, they're very much brought into play.
Ball just below his feet, probably aiming centre of the green, let it just feed in. And that's a very well played, controlled shot from William.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting battle between these two, but of course there are so many other players who are involved. Woolgar will be looking to get off to a confident start.
Certainly helps when you're already a winner this year.
When he's been so consistent. And it helps, like a few of the players here, he's played it a few times here at the Oxfordshire. They've used it as European Tour qualifying. Dykes with this long putt for eagle, and it was a pretty good effort. Should guarantee his birdie, and that will take him to within 3 shots of the leader,
who has a birdie putt on the first hole. Down the hill towards the water, just tracking nicely here. Oh, how about that for a start? Bingo!
Well, everything he would have dreamed of. Up to 13 under par he goes. 2 shots his lead. Can Harold respond in kind?
Similar putt. Not a great deal of break in this. He's hung this out the right, expecting it to come back, and it doesn't.
Well, what a start then from George Woolgar. Not what the likes of Stiggy Hodgson, who's among the chasers, wanted to see. He birdied the first, so he's up to 8 under par. Of course, he finished 5th just a few weeks ago behind Woolgar at Longhurst Hall. And he might get a little bit closer to the tournament leader after that fabulous tee shot.
Second par 3 on the course, 6th. One of the highest points on this golf course. Mustn't miss this green to the right. There's a big, deep precipice of a bunker. And that's a fabulous long iron. Wind helping today.
You've had a bit of history here, haven't you, Ross?
Yeah, I have enjoyed playing around this course. Second year there, I was leading for a while, the Benson Hedges tournament.
Did you have the course record here for a little while?
10 minutes.
I said a little while.
10 minutes, yeah.
Oh, Woolgar with another fabulous shot. Well. He's going to have an eagle putt coming up, and after the way he rolled in the birdie at the first, it's the perfect platform at the moment for him. Hodgson looking for his second birdie of the day. Not to be. Harold found the bunker with his approach to this par 5.
That's a good confident shot from that bunker, because here we've been facing the water the other side of that flag.
And it's important for Harold, isn't it, not to concentrate too much on what George Woolgar's doing, you know, birdie putt, eagle putts, and try and concentrate on his own game. Shame, par 3's Dransfield there, and Hodgson before missed out, but here's Woolgar for his eagle.
Up the hill, slightly right to left at the end. That was a good attempt. Simplest of birdies that's going to be.
Well, you wonder how you're going to react. As you said, he had the leader and won a few weeks ago. Confidence that gives, but to start birdie, when his lead right now is 3, make that 2. Just what William Harold needed. So here is the state of affairs. Very early stages, isn't it, of this final round of the WPT Championship at the Oxfordshire. But George Woolgar Well, he couldn't hope for better. Birdie at the first, birdie at the second. His lead now 2.
Well, here at the Oxfordshire, they have massive, massive greens around this golf course, and you are going to be left with monster putts. Now, when it comes to 30, 40 footers, it's all about the pace. You know, don't worry about holding it. Inside a dustbin lid, you'll be fine and dandy. Especially around greens like this, very slopey, undulating. You're coming in with long irons, you're going to be leaving yourself monster putts, like I said. Now, when you come up to a putt, get halfway, look at it. Look at the slope, how it's lying, if it's uphill, downhill. Get a gauge and kind of get a feel for the putt on how it's going to be. And then approach it. Take your time on it. Don't rush it. You know, you rush, you're in a world of trouble. And when you get over some putts, you know, the likes of Tiger Woods and a couple of the boys, they stand there and they kind of just do pace putting with one hand, right? And they get a real good gauge of it, and they just stand there and they think dustbin lid, and they just take nice gentle putts towards the hole. You know, there's many forms of it, but you've got to be patient. Don't rush putts from distance. You know what I mean? And get a gauge. Like all those there, I'm quite happy with those. I mean, they're just little tap-ins. Now, that's a bit low side, but I tell you what, straight uphill, no problem. This golf course demands respect when it comes to the greens.
That's right, drive for show, and your putt for dough. More final round action is coming up from the WPT Championship. Welcome back to the Oxfordshire. Before we return to the final round of the WPT Championship, the Tour's latest champion has been talking to Kit Alexander from Today's Golfer.
Daniel, you'd already had 3 top 10s this season. Did you feel the win was coming?
I definitely felt my game was in good enough shape to win. You know, I went out there focusing on my own game, not really focusing on winning, just playing each shot as it came really, and you know, I managed to get the job done.
And you've been in contention a few times earlier in the season. What did you learn from those experiences?
I learned to deal with the pressure well. You know, it's hard the first few times, especially in front of the cameras, to try and ignore them, but just get on with your game really.
And it was a pretty stunning 63 in the final round, 29 on the back 9. What were your emotions out on the course?
I didn't really think about how many under par I was. I knew where I was on the leaderboard, but trying not to think about how many under I was, you know, it kept me just focusing on one shot at a time. Rolled in a few putts towards the end, which was nice, and managed to get the job done well.
And here at the Oxfordshire, you've made the cut 2 under. What are the hopes for the final round?
I see a low score out there tomorrow. The wind's picking up now, which it's always a good sign if you finish, but just go and enjoy tomorrow. You know, I'm quite a lot of shots off the lead now, so I can enjoy it and see what I can shoot.
And having shot such a fantastic final round last week, what advice would you give to the guys that will be in contention going into the back 9 tomorrow?
Just try and stick to your own game. You know, there's a lot of pressure. Try and deal with it the best way you can.
Thanks very much, Daniel, and good luck tomorrow. Another final round 63 at the Oxfordshire will certainly send you up the leaderboard.
Yeah, unfortunately for Daniel, not quite the way it worked out. He's a 3 under par, 3 to play, and just 1 under for the day. But it's been a pretty good couple of weeks for him, hasn't it? Who's going to be the one to emerge victorious, though, here this afternoon? Paul Grinnell's on the par 3 4th. Right at it.
Been playing very difficult, that par 3. Second hardest this week.
Yeah, we saw Stevie Hodgson play a wonderful tee shot there. He's moved on a hole. Very nicely played from the man who played in the last 2 Walker Cups, 2009, 2011.
Connor Fletcher. It's a par putt, unfortunately. And as soon as they're on the move, you know it's been missed.
Had such a wonderful front 9 on day 1. Shot 30, and that was with missed birdie chances from 5 and 10 feet, so could have easily broken 30.
Grinnell with a very good stroke. Thought he'd missed it, and then it just sort of snuck in the old left-hand side.
Well, he moves to 9 under par. Of course, Walgar's made that brilliant start, so he's still 5 back. Hodgson really can't afford to miss these. It would be a good up and down. So he's going to slip back, playing alongside Buxton to 7 under. disappointing. Missed putts on the last couple of greens now. Don't see too many of those, do you?
Well, you only see 2 of them.
A Lancaster bomber flying overhead on this wonderful Oxfordshire course.
Tim Dykes' second shot on the 5th. It's only a short par 4 up the hill, slight dogleg to the right.
Yeah, it's been a solid start from the likes of Dykes, but no one at the moment has been able to keep pace with George Woolgar. Did par the 3rd after those opening 2 birdies.
Middle of the green on this difficult 4th. Sensible shot there.
Yeah, as said, when you're on a roll, the game just seems easier. I mean, did you have times like that, Ross, in your career when you went out and the chest was all pumped out?
Well, obviously, you know, when you're playing well, you see a shot and you play it. You don't react to bad shots. Just looking at these 2 swings again on this par 3, you can see water everywhere. Club face comes inside a little bit for Harold, but it then gets it up to a very solid position at the top. You'll see the difference in the height of the arms there between the 2 players. So the taller Harold will come on a much steeper downward attack, whereas Woolgar will sweep the ball off from a lower action. But both very good positions. Club face, lovely and neutral.
Dykes from Wrexham. Runner-up finisher a couple of years ago at the Players Club, as close as he's come to winning on the EuroPro. Good putt. Oh, what a putt. What a bonus that is. Second birdie of the day. Wow. Good 2-putt it was from there, and he made it in 1.
He must have been watching John Morgan's piece. Got that club stuck in the grass. You could see there was no flow.
Awkward little stance here for Grinnell coming out of the bunker.
He did very well. He was right on the edge of the sand, was still in the grass. You could see there was no sand came up at all.
Well, he made a big putt at the first, not quite as big as this one though.
Good pace. Oh my word.
Well, he had that long injury break, and it's not always easy, is it, to pick up where you left off. Of course, he won last season and then had to spend almost a year out. But boy, has he come back to some form.
It says 232 yards. It is from the very back. They're not playing all the way back. It's no more than about a 6-iron today, downwind.
Well done. Stays within 2. Only been a pro just over a year, William Harold. One of those who played collegiate golf out in America.
Grinnell for his par.
Everyone on the EuroPro does it a different way. Here's a man who had to fund his game in the early days by working on the railways in the winter months, and ended up becoming a PGA qualified pro. There's no set route, is there, Ross?
No, what it is you've just got to have a good game, and you've got to be patient, and you've got to work very hard.
And you've got to have ambition. Now, Woolgar said a few weeks ago before he won the Sweet Spot Classic that his goal was to finish the season as #1 on the EuroPro Tour. Well, if he wins here, he will be at #1. He certainly will be playing shots like that.
Yeah, great approach. Like I say, this is a shortish par 4, just an iron, maybe a 3-wood down the left-hand side. Then you've got a semi-blind shot up the hill over the bunkers, and anything past the flag will leave quite a quick downhill putt.
2 par 3s in 3 holes. You can see it's a little breezy out there today. Sweet sounding strike, wasn't it? excellent.
That's why it stops so quickly down breeze when you strike it that well, when you compress the ball. Little chip and run for Dykes. Eddie Birchenough used to say, it's not a chip and run, it's a chip that runs.
Not quite the result he was looking for. Harold, he's rolled in a couple of really good putts today, one for birdie, one for par, to try and halve his deficit. Well, he had to be careful with it. It was a little slick, that putt.
For a birdie 2 on 6. This the 5th hardest hole this week. The par 3s have really played difficult. The 4th has been stroke index 2, this 6th stroke index 5, and the 14th, which you'll see later, that was the hardest hole all week.
Walker for 3rd birdie of the day. Just doesn't look to be any stopping him. I know it's the early stages, but he has sent out a message to the chasers, hasn't he?
It's amazing, really. The last few weeks we've seen the leaders sort of backing up and then other players having a chance, but here we're seeing the leaders move away. Big difference.
And it becomes dispiriting. The players here know what's going on as well. And Woolgar right now seems very much on top of his game. It's all about maintaining that concentration, not getting ahead of yourself.
Started this down the right. Now there's a big gully to be avoided, and he has just about done that.
Need a bit of luck as well, don't you?
He's had it there. This looks like it's fairly much at it. Yeah, half a club too much.
Well, 3 shots the lead right now. Here's our first look at Payne at the closing hole. He's been going great guns today, Greg Payne. He's just birdied 15, 16 and 17. And if you can roll that in, that will be 2 bogey-free days in a row around this course. That's very impressive.
That's very top-class golf round here. That's another pitch that really hasn't got running at the hole.
Now, come on, Greg. I hope I haven't put the curse on him. This to finish in some style with a par putt here at 18. Well done. Well, what an excellent round of golf that is, and that sends him right in the top 10. A round of 65 from the former England international, and that should be his 4th top 10 of a very impressive rookie season.
See how much he enjoyed that.
But it's always nice, isn't it? Keep those bogeys away, and never mind once, but twice. He has got his eye in today, hasn't he?
Well, he looks threatening on the greens, doesn't he? He looks like he's going to hole everything. The confidence of the young man. 3-shot lead over his playing partner, who has this for a par. And like you say, Richard, he's holed a few of these, but it's crucial to stay within 3. No.
Well, it's all falling into George Woolgar's hands now, isn't it? They'll be shortly off to the 8th, and John's been taking a look at that one.
We're at the almighty signature hole, the 8th. It is 606 yards, par 5. Can you Adam and Eve it? Water on the left off the tee, bunker to the right. I mean, look at this expanse of water as well. I mean, you've got layup point on the left-hand side as well. So you can't get to the green in 2. You're going to hit a long iron, lay up there, and it gives you a good angle into that green. Either you go down the right-hand side and lay up, but you're left with a hard 3rd shot coming into a very slopey green, bunkers at the back, obviously water lurking at the front. Now I've crunched my drive right down the left-hand side, a bit off a little bit more than I could chew, but I got away with it. Now I'm going to tackle a 3-wood, try and reach the green. Let's give it a pop. Middle of the dance floor, that's all I need. No, baby, turn a little bit. Turn a little bit. Have you got the legs? Oh, and I think he's got on by the skin of his teeth. Thank you very much.
Nicely done. Follow that, Tim Dykes.
Well, he would do if he was on the fairway and a lot further up, so he's just going to lay up down the left-hand side, as John was saying.
It is oh my goodness, I don't know if he has made it. That is touch and go.
There's a bunker there as well, so he may have found that.
Woolgar will be off to fun and games in a moment at 8, but first, another fairway found at 7.
A long par 4, this 467 yards. Second shot played quite a bit downhill with about a 4-iron, and that's right in the middle of the green.
He looks so in control, doesn't he? Fairways, greens, putts that are looking like they're going to drop.
Well, Dykes was okay, was dry. He's made the green in 3.
Hodgson's reached the final hole of the front 9 here. One birdie, one bogey so far.
Very steep green there, almost 3 layers.
What about this 18th then, Ross?
Yeah, it's a very strong par 4 up the hill towards the clubhouse. Plenty of fairway on the right-hand side, big bunker to be avoided. But then your second shot is steeply uphill with, well, usually into the prevailing wind with about a 4-iron or so. Very narrow at the front, steep sloping green. And depending on where the flag is, it means it could be a tough hole.
Well, we've seen a 65 already from Greg Payne. Sebi Garcia, also if he could finish with a par, will match that. Spaniard, born in Bedford, but has mainly lived in Mallorca, got a English mum, Spanish dad. Once shot a 58 at the Spanish Professional Golf Championships. Not quite matching that score today, but not too far off.
Well, if he'd walked in with 3 holes to go, he might have had that.
Yeah. Not often you break 60.
I've never broken 60. Apart from a par 3 course.
Long birdie putt here for William Harrell. One of those again where you're really looking to put 2 putt, but you never know.
Not a good putt, that's a great putt.
Very, very good.
He's not done anything wrong, has he? Apart from that par 3, just overshot the green a little and failed to get up and down, but not done too much wrong. But he finds himself now, after being 1 behind, a long way behind George Woolgar. A chance maybe for the leader to stretch that advantage.
Slow uphill putt. Again, it looks like he had a good chance.
Well, at the moment, it's a chase for second place, it seems, that Dykes is in, because Woolgar's stretching away, but that is not going to help his cause. Now, Garcia. Well, I mentioned 65. This is for a 64, of course.
That was the final green when I'd shot my course record of 66, and then 10 minutes later El Gato came in and rolled a 50-footer in to beat my course record.
El Gato being
Romero.
Eduardo Romero, of course, yeah.
And I don't mean the cake. End over end, good strike. He hit that putt exactly where it aimed. Can you see how that's run along that line?
Look how it's gone on, though. And we mentioned, John was talking about the size of these greens, and these putts are really important. Woolgar's done so well. We've seen Harold putt really well from this kind of distance, and that's a pretty good effort as well. Talked about the dustbin lid, that kind of 2 foot, 3 foot circumference around the hole. You're looking to get it inside. Well, no bogeys so far today for Garcia. Oh, well, there's one. What a disappointing end from the Spaniard. Played well on the Challenge Tour at the Scottish Hydro Challenge this year as well. Finished 6th there. Had a very good season on the EuroPro Tour without winning. And despite that drop shot at the last, that's a pretty good day. Very good effort. 66, 9 under. He'll be nicely placed at the end of the day. But no one better placed than George Woolgar. 4 shots clear now after 7 holes of this final round. Is there any stopping the man from Derbyshire in his search for his 2nd EuroPro Tour win of the season?
True or false? If you touch the sand in a bunker on your backswing, there is no penalty. Find out the answer after the break. Before the break, we asked you, true or false, if you touch the sand in a bunker on your backswing, there is no penalty. The answer is false. If you touch the sand at any time with your club whilst preparing to take a shot in the bunker, then there is a penalty.
Well, here at the Oxfordshire this week, there's 135 bunkers on this golf course. They are everywhere, and you're bound to go in one along the line. When it comes to long bunker shots, and I'm talking in a region of 7 iron all the way up, you step back, you have a little look at it, and you think, well, that trajectory, that's what I need to get out of it. Well, for this one right near the lip, I got myself a 7 iron. Now, how I go about it is, I got to stand tall, I got to be level with the ground. The ground's like that, so my weight is with the lie of the land. All I'm going to do is get stable base. I don't want to do too much movement with my legs. Stay strong and tall. And I tell you what, watch what happens. Nice and clean. And I tell you what, ripper to the 6 iron. 5 iron, same again, tall, strong. Bit too much sand that time. 4 iron, you can be really aggressive. Sandy Lowell beauty, 18th hole, Augusta. Oh, look at that, gunned to 10 foot. Down the slope, holds it, gives it the jig. Green jacket, thank you very much. Anyway, then you come to the wood in your hand. I'm so far enough back now, I know I can get it over. Now, tall, central balance is a must to get this baby coming out lovely. And I tell you what, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, Mickelson, last week, Barclays, he had this shot in the bunker and he chose to punch it. It was windy. He thought, right, I'll keep it down. It's going to generate a lot of spin, and it did backspin towards the hole. But he got it just a bit further back in his stance and ripped it straight down there. Lots of spin, lots of grab, a lot of control. But say you've got a big lip in front of you and you need to whisk one off the top. Same again, just as the irons. Nice and tall. And you get a nice high floater. And I tell you what, that's how you do it, chaps.
He's been in good form, hasn't he? John Morgan, of course, former EuroPro and PGA Tour player. I'm Richard Kaufman alongside Ross McFarlane. William Harold trying to chase down the leader, George Woolgar. Finds himself 4 back now and he's got one of those bunker shots John's been demonstrating.
Yeah, down the right-hand side of the strong par 5 8th. His drive found a large bunker down the right and he's left himself a long way back.
Yeah, he's got a tough shot, isn't he, in 3. Now Woolgar, where's he going here?
Up the right-hand side. There's a big layup area over there. It's not challenging the water yet.
Tim Dykes after that drop shot we saw at the 8th.
Semi-blind shot as he comes up the hill. It's almost a little amphitheatre, this green.
Well, after bogeys at 7 and 8, that is a good response from Dykes. Chance to get back into business.
This is about a 3 iron. 3rd shot into the par 5. That's in the lap of the gods. That may be wet. It was on line.
It is a heart-in-mouth moment, isn't it?
Still fully little punched 6 iron, maybe 7 iron.
Fabulous.
He's playing beautifully. He's controlling his flight.
Come on, Tim. Off to a great start, but it's been undone. Oh, dear. Level par front 9. Could have been so much better. Sticky Hodgson, good to see him playing really consistently.
He's playing the easiest of the 4 par 3s. It's just about an 8 iron, maybe a little 7 iron.
But it's good, isn't it? You know, he's a player who's obviously done really well in the amateur. He's not missed a cut this year on the EuroPro. Stiggy. Now, it stayed dry, but not guaranteed his par, Harold.
His short game has been a little bit off. That's probably the best way to describe it. Third shot from a deep bunker. Played it well.
Well, this would be to guarantee to stretch his lead even more to at least 5. Positive stroke. Unlucky.
That's not in yet. That's a tricky little spot where they've got that flag. Very straight-legged. Sticky. Keeps his lower half very still. And if you're thinking, is that the way to putt? Just look at the way he struck that beautifully.
Got to keep making these, hasn't he, Harold? Particularly given where the man he's playing with is positioned right now, and back he goes to 10 under par. So alongside Greg Payne, of course, who shot that round of 65, Grinnell to try and get up and down from the sand at 9.
Not a very pretty stroke, that.
No,
Wasn't.
Seen a few of those, haven't we, today?
Well, if you get on the wrong side of the hole, you're left with very steep downhillers. This one's got a little bit of left to right. Needs some attention.
So 5 shots to the lead. And only 10 holes to play. It's difficult now. Woolgar, do you think he should just carry on playing the way he's been playing? In other words, trying to make birdies, or do you get a little more defensive now, knowing you're 5 ahead?
Well, that would be the worst thing he could do, really, get defensive. He needs to just keep playing the way he is. He knows he's playing well. Nobody else is making any ground. First view of Max Smith. Birdie putt on the 11th. Good effort.
Yeah, but that's 11 straight pars that's going to be for Max. Nothing wrong with pars, of course, but you know, when you're trying to reel in a man who's making birdies up top, not quite good enough.
A lot of slope on this 10th green. Well, that's a good reply for Grinnell.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? You miss a tiddler on one hole and then make a monster on the next. Now Harold having to see if his short game can bail him out again. And a bit of work to do still at 9. Just dropped a couple of shots in his last 3 holes.
Fletcher for a birdie. Yes, it's first of the day. Been a long time coming. It's a game of 2 halves, Connor, don't worry.
Well, we keep saying Harold needs to make these. He's tied for second now at 10 under. Well done. Important. He was bleeding a little, wasn't he, in the last few holes?
The leader also made par on that 9th hole. Grinnell on the 11th. That's a poor shot with a short iron. No more than a 7 or 8 iron. Long 12th, dogleg to the right. Further you go left off the tee, the longer your second shot.
That's nicely done. Should guarantee his par there. Grinnell stays at 8 under. But unless Woolgar's going to come back at them. There seems a little hope at the moment for these chasers. Dykes. But it's so important, isn't it? Everyone playing for different things. Of course, top 5 to get into get your Challenge Tour card at the end of the year. But you need to be in the top 60 to make the Tour Championship, which of course is a big money event at the end of the season on the EuroPro Tour.
No, not going to be an issue for this fella.
No, Woolgar has gone from strength to strength today. 1 shot in the lead overnight. That advantage now 5 shots from William Harold, who's had his struggles on the front 9, and Greg Payne, who shot that brilliant bogey-free 65. More to come from the WPT Championship.
So George Woolgar playing absolutely superbly, still 15 under par here at the Oxfordshire. Can anyone catch him? The leaders are now on the 11th tee. Join us to see what happens in the last few holes of this EuroPro Tour event next. Before the break, a quick question for you. A ball on the fringe of the green is marked, lifted and cleaned. Is that a 1-shot penalty or a 2-shot penalty? We'll tell you after the break. Before the break, we asked you, a ball on the fringe of the green is marked, lifted and cleaned. Is that a 1-shot penalty or a 2-shot penalty? The answer is it's a 1-shot penalty. Well, I'm here with Paul Gibbons, owner of the Leaderboard Group and owner of the Oxfordshire. Paul's in terrific condition, this golf course, doesn't it? Just look an absolute picture. Is this the kind of the climax of the season in terms of preparing the course?
Yes, yes, in a word, although we do pride ourselves in presenting not just the Oxfordshire but all our courses in as best possible condition as we can get them every week of the year. It is important to the membership and to the people that are paying to play our courses. And
this course is quite unique really because of the way it was kind of crafted almost from scratch and crafted out of the landscape, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was in its time, it was the second largest earth moving job in Europe, second only to the tunnel. The lake that you see there, which goes all the way down 11 and round 8 and everything else, there's enough water in the lake to water the course for 2 years.
I've loved walking around it today, and as an enthusiastic amateur I thought this would be tough.
Rhys Jones, who designed the course, he's very, very proud of not just his design but the way we look after the course, and I do hope your professionals have enjoyed their trip to us.
Well, I know one man who has so far, and that's George Woolgar. Par 3 11th. Looking to make more fun in the sunshine here at the Oxfordshire. Another birdie putt coming up.
Again, a sensible shot there. Not taking anything on there too much.
Well, Harold has to start firing at the flags, doesn't he, really? Try and put a bit of pressure on the man on top. Of course, Greg Payne, who is alongside at 10 under, can do no more. He's in the clubhouse on that mark. Doesn't look like it's going to do too much damage from there, though.
Well, there are certain flags you can go at, and that wasn't one of them. Very tight.
And also you have to weigh up, don't you? I mean, second place can be very important. You know, you can fritter away quite a bit of money in your rankings by trying to do too much and end up outside the top 10.
Lovely shot from Max there on the par 5 13th. Looks like he's going to make a birdie. Curly putt, left to right down the hill.
Case.
Did actually play on the Dubai Desert Classic early this year. Did Harold. A little taste of the big time. That wasn't the best, was it?
That's an ugly putt there. Tim Dykes tends to hit his putts. It's like a little wrap motion, and that was a much better stroke. That means a birdie for him, back to 8 under.
Woolgar, who missed the first couple of events of the season with injury, but his first event was Burhill May. Finished second at Coventry Park, and as we mentioned already, winner at Longhurst Hall, and Thought that one was in again, but well, he's left himself a bit of work to do for par, but every time he has done that so far, he's knocked the one back in. Come on, Max. Due one, aren't you? 12 straight pars, and there's your birdie. Perseverance pays.
There's a few key holes to play, especially towards the end, and this short par 5, one of them, the 16th, got a drive between this narrow area of trees. There's a lot of trouble right and left, but if you can get down in that narrow gully, it leaves you a mid-iron slightly up to a pulpit green, raised up with bunkers all the way to the left and to the right. It's the easiest hole on the course, reachable by everyone.
Well, here's Luke Cornford trying to do so. 25-year-old from Sussex. And he's putting together a really good round. Well, that's found the bunker, but he hasn't shot worse than 70 in his previous 8 EuroPro Tour rounds, and the way he's going today as well, that looks like he's going to continue that little run. Well, it's almost getting boring, isn't it?
Just lovely control, good speed to his swing. It was an excellent bunker shot from where he was. He had an awkward stance.
Started the day at 6 under. Picked up 3 shots today so far, has Cornford. Let's find out where John is again, shall we?
Well, before I hit this shot, this is the 14th, par 3, 210 yards long. 200 yards to carry the water, for crying out loud. I mean, look at the definition on this hole. Don't get any better. Look, tall, lovely brown grass, bunkers on the left. I mean, look at it. It's unbelievable. Like a stadium behind the hole as well. I mean, it is an absolute beauty. I mean, you've got to really pipe this one. This one has to come out the middle of the bat all day long. And don't be short, because you'll be having to find Nemo. Anyway, I can't resist it. We've got to have a go, guys. Middle of the green and rip it. He's on the dance floor. Take that all day long. Thank you.
Does he ever miss?
Yes.
Well, let's see if Max Smith can do it. It does look stunning, doesn't it, this hole? Lovely backdrop.
It's a good par 3. It's playing the hardest hole this week.
Not when you play it like that, it doesn't. Just had his first birdie of the day as well.
Playing alongside him, Tim Dykes. More of an old style swing, uses the hands, educated hands, Tim Dykes.
And remind you, 5 shots still the lead for George Walgett. 6 holes to go after this one. And he's been having to do a lot of that today, hasn't he? Getting up and down around the green.
To be fair, he's only just missed the edges of the greens. Catch up with Jason Dransfield again. 9 under par. Up and over the hill. Excellent touch. Should get him to 10 under par. And that's our clubhouse leader at the moment.
But here we go again. Walgett for a 4th unanswered birdie of the day. And the lead is 6. Brilliant. Well, he shot 66 in the Pro-Am, 66 on day 1, 66 on day 2. He's 4 under for the round now. And, well, you wouldn't bet against another 66, would you?
Well done. But unfortunately, that's another shot further back.
Tied second, yeah, but 10 under. And the leader 16 under.
Just needed hitting. Right on line.
So Dykes remains at 8 under. Former England amateur international. Smith with his birdie. Tee shot deserved better, frustrating.
Yeah, there's only been 27 birdies there all week.
Cornford, sorry Dross, I say Cornford here. We've seen this 18th is not too easy either, is it?
Oh, a long second shot with the flag towards the back. Probably about a 4-iron or so.
Chance of a 5th birdie of the back 9 for Cornford. Connor Fletcher, who is based at Chart Hills, which is a sister course of this one, of the Oxfordshire.
Good shot there for Fletcher. Now, the 15th hole is one of those holes where you're thinking about birdie. 340 yards, sometimes you think I can have a go at this, but these bunkers on the left, we've just gone over, will stop that. So a long iron and leave yourself a short iron approach, because that raised green is very difficult to stay on, even with a spinning wedge.
And let's see how Dykes faces the challenger of this hole. As you mentioned, long iron off the tee.
He's challenged the left-hand bunkers there. He'll leave himself an awkward little pitch.
Cornford then to finish off with a birdie. Oh, pity. Approach shot deserved a birdie, but it's another good week for him. And a 69 that carries on that run of 70 or better in his last 9 rounds now. It's that kind of consistent play that'll get you knocking on the winner's door.
Slow up the hill on that par 3. And back to the 15th, where Tim Dykes, is he too close to the green? Awkward little pitch. I think the answer is yes.
Well, trouble for the first time today for George Walgart. He had to lay up after a loose tee shot. And maybe a little bit too much spin on that one. That's what he's got left to avoid a first drop shot of the day. But I don't think bogeys are really going to hurt him too bad. Oh, there's not too many coming in.
That's a bit more like it. So he shall make his 4.
Well, Harold's still got a birdie putt to come.
Up the hill, little right to left. So a first drop shot. A little chink in the armour.
Hardly a crisis though, is it? As 6 becomes 5 in terms of the lead. Harold though with a chance to maybe make it a 2-shot swing on this hole. Maybe give something for him to think about if he can make it. Wasn't far away from doing so.
Wind just getting up a little of these closing holes.
So George Walgart does show he's human after all. A bogey at the 13th. His first of the day means he's back at 15 under par, but he's very much in control here at the WPT Championship. 5 shots his lead, 5 holes to play. Well, yesterday, Kit Alexander caught up with William Harold after his superb 8 under par round, which propelled him right up the leaderboard.
William, great score, 64 today. Talk us through it.
Yeah, I mean, it was bogey free. I mean, it was good. It's my best round ever, I think. So yeah, that was nice. I've been waiting for that one for a while now. But yeah, no, I had, I think 4 under on the front, 4 under on the back. So it was pretty steady all the way around, and didn't make many mistakes. But if I did, I think I made 3 missed greens, and I think I got them up and down, so yeah, it was good.
Okay, and you're well in contention for the tournament now going into the final round. What's going to be the mindset?
Same as today. I was good today because I was just going through my processes of just trying to, you know, one shot at a time. You know, that's what we've been trained to do, and that's the way you got to do it.
You know what it's going to take to win tomorrow because you got your first win on the MENA Tour last year, didn't you? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, in October. Yeah, it was good. I won the Tour Championship. I guess it was kind of similar to this. There was a load of guys, you know, in contention to do it. So I've got experience to win. So other than that, I've just got to try and do the same again tomorrow, I think.
And as well as a nice check, a big shiny trophy, that also got you a start in the Dubai Desert Classic this year.
Didn't quite have my swing that week, and it was a tough one because the courses are set up difficult. You need to hit it quite long and pretty high as well because there's some good corners to cut in that. But yeah, I did all right. I gave myself a chance to make the cut. I think I had a putt in the last two to make it, but it was a long shot. But no, it was a really good experience and just kind of sets the bar of what the ultimate goal is, I think.
And going back to your earlier days, you went to college in America. Can you tell us about how that aided your development and why you made that decision?
Yeah, I got an opportunity to go and play golf in the University of Missouri. I mean, you get to play against big names again in college, and I think a lot of guys coming through on tour have definitely sort of gone through that route now. So you get an education and you play golf all over the USA and a few other places as well.
And do you think 3 years of year-round practice and competitive play in good weather on good courses gives you a bit of a head start on the guys that don't take that route before they turn pro?
The courses are amazing, and having a team around you and that is really nice because everybody's kind of motivating yourself. So if you can work and practice with guys that have got the same ambition, then that definitely, I think, you know, helps you get going.
Well, best of luck tomorrow, and hopefully if you can continue to keep the bogeys off the card, you'll be there or thereabouts. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the closing stages of the WPT Championship. Not many holes left to play. John Morgan's on one of them, the 16th.
Well, this is borderline of 300 yards off the tee. Leaves you about 240 in. Now, I would say this is the easiest hole on the golf course. Now, they say don't look a gift horse in the face, but this is your gift and your biggest chance. Now, you're coming down the straight. You need a birdie, you might need an eagle. This is it. This par 5, landing zone, very, very wide. You're coming in, second shot. You got the bunkers on the left, bunkers on the right. You can't quite see them all, but they're not deep bunkers. You know, they're quite shallow. So, and the green's quite big and it's spacious, so you got every chance to get it close, even if you miss the green. Now you're coming in, you've probably got a rescue club in your hand, hybrid, 2-iron, or a 3-wood, but it's so wide. I mean, this is your chance. Get that eagle, and you'd probably be lifting that trophy.
Well, I think Max Smith could do with an eagle here and then maybe a couple more eagles to come if he is going to be lifting the trophy, but we get John's point.
A little breezier though for this final round action. Knock that one under the wind, run it up the green.
Well, we have seen some eagles here today. Sebi Garcia among those that have walked off with a 3. Dykes, lovely drive.
Trying to hit a low draw. Get that to run up, and that's going to do the same thing.
Well, Harold, 5 back now. Couldn't make his birdie at the last. Would have made it interesting, wouldn't it, to get to 4?
Very smooth swing, a little bit left. Looked like he was taking one extra club and hit it softly. It's easy to do that, to just pull it fractionally, but that's okay.
Yeah, I think George Woolgar would take that position.
Well, I don't know, he's playing well. He's looking like taking everything on today. How's he going to react to the first drop shot of the day? There's 2 a little left, but no problem whatsoever.
Well, he's got a nice cushion. Wonder what it'll be coming down 18.
And it's really coming up 18 because it's uphill all the way from the tee box. generous landing area for that tee shot. But it does make it a long second shot to a narrow opening at the front, but the flag back right, you must not go past this flag. It'll leave you a very quick downhill putt, but long iron second shot up the hill.
Well, it's been a decent round today from Jason Dransfield, 4 under par. Well, the clubhouse lead is 10 under. He'll have that to try and get to 11 under when it eventually stops.
Grinnell, who started a little bit shakily, went quite well and then dropped a couple of shots. It's now 6 under. Looks like he's going to get to 7.
Well, there's another eagle at this par 5 and another to get to 10 under. There's a little group of them now, tied for second.
Doing the commentary for us. It was a good putt.
One eagle followed by another, perhaps?
Could be that famous saying. Will it be where eagles pair? No.
You've been waiting all day for that one, haven't you? I heard a sigh there. I'm not too sure if that was at your joke or the missed opportunity.
I would have said it was the joke.
Still, birdie takes him to 9 under par.
Must get to 11.
Well, he gave it a bit of a thump up the hill. Wasn't hard enough, though. Is it bounce back time for Walgott? Looking to become the first winner of 2 events this season is Walgott.
Little right to lefter. Oh dear, oh dear. Nothing worse. Your last hole, 3 putts.
And it's 3 rounds of 69 for Jason Dransfield.
Well, this is the 17th, an absolute beautiful kamikaze par 4. Now you got the likes of Cole Sarts, Bubba Watson, probably the world's long driving team. They won't even be wanting to take this bad boy on. I mean, look at it. It is a country mile away. But come final day, they're going to bring the tee box up and entice all these players to have a little pop at this. Now, it's 258 yards to carry, 260 yards to carry to the green. This hole is unbelievable. I mean, when you do lay up there, you're only coming in with like a wedge or a sand iron. Very simple. Not everyone would be going for this, but you know, you're under the cosh, you say 1 or 2, maybe probably 2 shots behind, you might really think about opening up your shoulders and giving it a go. I mean, this is what it's all about, guys. Now, have I got the minerals? Now, when I say minerals, well, am I being silly? I don't know, but here we go. I tell you what, I'm going home with my tail between my legs. Well, as you can see, my tee shot went in the water, but that is the risk at going at this hole in 1 shot. Now, sensible option. Off the tee, long iron, landing right in the perfect zone, leaving yourself in a region of about 105 to carry the water, probably a region about 120 to the middle of the green. But this green slopes straight back at you. You know, if you come in there and you're a bit steep on it, a bit too hard with it, you're going to generate so much spin and it can weave its way back into a watery grave. Now, Tiger Woods is excellent at this shot. He stays there, he's really shallow through the shots, taking off as much spin as he can for that 1 hop stop technique. Now, I'm going to try the same. Now, we got the pin on the right hand side, very dodgy pin position. I've got to take it on. Here we go.
And there we have it. Done exactly what it's not supposed to say on the tin, in the drink.
What else does he ever miss? He only did it twice in one hole. He's wrecked his scorecard.
Well, he's showing just how much danger there is on this.
But Dykes has gone for it. He just eagled the last. Come on. Wow. There you go. It was a risky effort, but a lovely swing.
Back into the wind a little bit. See, very educated hands. A lot of body movement, but brings the club face back into square.
Well, the likes of Colin Montgomery, Bernard Langer, Darren Clark, all one here. Is George Walgar going to follow in their steps? You had high hopes of winning here one year as well, didn't you, Ross?
Yeah, I finished well. I was leading after 2 rounds, and then Langer went on in the most very difficult conditions to play 2 of the best rounds I've ever seen. Don't mind being beaten by Langer.
He was pretty good, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was pretty good too.
In fact, he's still good, Bernard Langer. Up at 17, Max Smith now.
He laid up, going with the little wedge, took the spin off. You can see that flag quite blustery, so that tee shot into the wind.
Sticky Hodgson, 2 bogeys, 2 birdies so far today. And hopefully his last shot indeed at 18 for a par. So he finishes where he started at 7 under. Not quite the day he was hoping for, but another solid week from the former Walker Cup start.
Harold. Went for the green, and with that flag on the front, it's difficult to get close.
Well, he rolled in an eagle at 16. Was 15 under par, leading the way.
Grinnell has been a bit tentative on these shortish putts today, but that was hit with more authority.
Well, pars will be very much good enough, you would feel, for Walgar from here. Yeah, he's got the pace of the greens really well today. When he has blasted it past, it's because he has been aggressive and been trying to make those birdies. Now Smith, well, he's starting to make a few birdies. It took him to the 13th to get his first, but that's 3 now today. Another one of those testers for par for Harold. He's managed to knock in most of these though. And there's another, looked like it might miss on the left, but just caught the hole. Now the last thing you want to do is hit a drive like Dykes did and not make your birdie. But there you go, paid off. Well, nice couple of holes, isn't it? Eagle birdie, and it takes Dykes out of what was a 4-way tie for second place, up to second on his own now. 4 shots then the lead for George Walgar. 3 holes left to play, and looking to go top of the Order of Merit. Max Smith well placed at 10 under par, on course for his highest finish of the season in his rookie year. And Kit Alexander spoke to him at the opening event of the season.
Max, you've made a really positive start to your first EuroPro Tour event. Can you tell me about the week so far and how it's compared to your expectations?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's good fun, and it's good. I'm playing with a lot of guys that I've played junior golf with, which is good. It helps me relax, helps me fit in a little bit better, where I can imagine it could be quite daunting if you didn't know anyone.
And you were involved in the England squads as a junior. Can you just tell us about your progression, how you came to the game?
I've always been quite a decent sportsman. Played a lot of cricket, a lot of tennis, and that's kind of fed into my golf. But I went down to Millfield in Somerset for school, and it just flourished from there. You know, I first went, they said I probably wasn't actually going to make the golf team, which almost was a motivation, as I will make the golf team, and ended up having a really successful career there. And luckily got selected for the England under-18s, which you can't really put a price on the experiences I got there. the places I went, the tournaments I played, the calibre of player I played against, and you just have to look at the squad I was involved with. You had Tom Lewis now, Tommy Fleetwood, Chris Lloyd, Eddie Pepperell, all, you know, European Tour card holders. So we had a really strong squad, which helped me even more being surrounded by those guys.
Why did you take the decision to turn pro when you came back from America for this season?
I was struggling with my game a bit, and I was always going to turn pro at the end of this year. And I wasn't within the remit of the, you know, the Walker Cup squad, the England elite squad, where you'd want to be making the most of being an amateur. So I just thought, you know, if I'm going to spend the money on being an amateur for a season, I might as well spend that money being a pro and having the opportunity to earn some money back. And hopefully that was the right decision.
Does seeing other players who you played in the England squad with now move on to the European Tour, does that give you plenty of confidence that you can get there as well?
Oh, for sure, because you know, you competed with them when you were younger, and whether then that means that they're not that much better than you. They've just done the right things. They performed at the right time. There are a couple of guys. I remember Tommy Fleetwood was the one that really blew me away. He really was good. But you know, the other guys, I felt like I could compete with, and hopefully one day in the near future I will.
Welcome back to the Oxfordshire. George Woolgar is playing the round and the tournament of his life. He's 15 under par at the moment, way ahead of the chasing pack. But this course is not an easy course. Can he hold on and claim his third EuroPro Tour win?
Well, you would think so, given the way things are right now. One of the chasers, William Harold, tied for third.
Trying to play a low runner off the slope. It needs to just sit down, otherwise it might be in the bunker. No, it's laid up. Woolgar going for the green. Good strike, trying to draw it in. Has he overdone it?
Not a bad miss though. No trouble there. You see Graham Clark there, a regular of course on the EuroPro Tour, now out on the course cheering him home. Dykes, who is second on his own, and a position. If he could par this hole, it would be the clubhouse lead, but it's not going to be an easy four from there, and he knows it.
Max Smith then.
Spoke well, didn't he?
He did indeed, yeah. You can see that he's a good talent, this young fella. Oh, quality shot right at the flag, and that's on the correct level.
Well, is Grinnell going for things? I suppose at 8 under. Why not?
This one drifting away to the right. Will it catch a bit of the green? No. That made that sliding thud. Not a bad position. Just lowers the hands through impact. You can see long extension, tried to draw it in, but he left it out to the right. You can see not happy. And of course, he's basically got to play the same shot again now.
That's nice. Nicely done from Harold. Played collegiate golf against the likes of Ricky Fowler, did Harold. What a good experience playing out in America.
Stay there. Oh, unlucky.
That could be... Well, I think it'll come up just short of the bunker, will it? No, it's back in the sand. And maybe in his footprint there as well. Or someone else's footprint. Well, an awkward little stance this as well for Dykes, not helping his cause.
That's all he could do from there, just get it on the green.
Pity. Really made a good run of it the last couple of holes. Well, he dropped a shot at 13. This is the easiest hole on the course, though. Oh, that's... Oh, my goodness me. Well, what a mess this is turning out to be for George Walgar. And, well, the victory parade is, well, no longer so straightforward, is it?
4 shots not on the green on a par 5. So this is the 4th shot then of Grinnell. Of course, he couldn't play a provisional ball because his first ball was in the water hazard.
Important up and down now for Walgar. Oh, I thought for a minute it was going to come back to him again, but that was a brave shot, well played. And he should come away with a bogey, and I suppose in the end a decent bogey.
That was a fantastic little pitch. That could quite easily have come straight back to his feet.
This for the clubhouse lead for Dykes. No, falling down on the low side. We've seen quite a few bogeys here, haven't we, at that 18th. Now, could be a 2-shot swing here. Harold could be in second on his own, given, of course, Dykes is dropping a shot at 18, and he's made it. So he gets to 11 under, and of course, well, Walgar is going to drop one.
At least one, yeah. If he holds this, it'll just be a 3-shot lead with 2 holes to go.
Which, in normal circumstances, you'd take, wouldn't you, given the fact that he was leading by 1 at the start of the day, but he was 6 shots ahead not too long ago. Suddenly we might have a fight for the tournament.
So this, to get to 11, no.
Max a little mad with himself. Grinnell then, after finding the water, to try and make a bogey. Very good bogey.
Brilliant bogey, that.
Been an up and down day for Dykes. This to finish with a bogey. Well, pity. Look at that eagle at 16 birdie at 17, but a 69 for the Welshman leaves him 10 under par. Ties the clubhouse lead right now, but leaves him in a tie for 3rd alongside this man. Bogey-free day for Max Smith. His 3rd top 10 of the season.
Two holes to go, and this is what faces our leader. I would imagine a long iron down the left-hand side towards the bunker, and then just a wedge or so into this green. But lots of trouble. Shouldn't be taking this shot on. Doesn't need to, because we've seen what sort of trouble is here.
Well, it doesn't look like Harold's taking out on either. He's going down this left-hand side. And, you know, it's got to fit right, hasn't it? You've got to see it, see the shot, otherwise there's no point playing it just for the fun. And as he suggested, no need for heroics here for Walgar.
Oh, this one's starting a bit right. It could be tight to that right-hand side.
Yeah, a few nervous moments for George Walgar. This is the man that set the pace after 18 holes. Not happened for Conor Fletcher today, just the 1 birdie in his round. Starting at 8 under.
In off the cush. Lovely shot.
Getting closer all the time. Well, a chance for Harold maybe just to crank up the pressure a little.
Just a little 9-iron, maybe a little 8-iron. Kept the spin off it. That's not bad. You can see how breezy it is here.
Yeah, Harold was down the right side, but no problems at all.
Looks like the hands have really tried to rip into this. Oh, that could be wet.
Yeah, he knew straight away. You saw from his reaction. I mean, he's hoping, of course, that it wasn't going to be, but what went wrong here then?
Well, it took it back a little bit close. You can see he's a little flat. He got it late and he tried to turn it over with his hands. Never really completed his shoulder turn, and because of that, he started it right of his target, and the wind did the rest.
Well, a seamless march to victory. He's come out of his stride a little. Grinnell to finish with a par. Not to beat. Another one who closes out with a bogey 5, but that's 2 drop shots in a row and a back 9 to forget for Grinnell, who also had his water troubles at 17.
So it was in the water. He's dropped to here. A red hazard. Slow down. Yeah, pretty good. Might get away with a bogey again.
Now, come on, Connor. Just didn't have the start of the day that he wanted, but he's ended it pretty well. And a level par round of 72, 8 under par.
All the best for us. Yeah.
Well, suddenly Harold has got plenty to think about here, hasn't he?
Well, birdie could get him to 12. Come on, he's been putting well. That's a slow putt up there.
Yeah, I think you'd like to be, wouldn't you, in Woolgar's shoes right now? Just to take a 2-shot lead down the last. Oh my goodness, well, who saw that coming? Double bogey at 17. I mean, he was playing it safe. And the lead's down to 1.
That shows you what pressure can do, Richard. Thinking about the finishing line.
Well, this to give William Harold a wonderful opportunity. Look at that. Well, he's seen the leader come back to him, and suddenly it's game on. William Harold is closing in here. The momentum's with him, you have to say, because the wheels have come off somewhat for Woolgar. Six shots lead, disappeared to 1.
Good swing, good rhythm.
And that just puts a little bit more pressure on, doesn't it, for Woolgar?
It's like a match play situation now. And unfortunately, Woolgar's the one who's struggling.
You don't like to see anyone crumble like this, but he still leads by 1. That's the perspective he should have, but it's not so easy to have it. He was swinging it so well, and now everything seems to be going wrong.
Yeah, that was shot on his backswing, very flat. Another look at this finishing hole. It's a tough par 4. It's been playing the 3rd hardest this week, and hitting the fairway an absolute must. It's very difficult to hit this green from the bunker where our leader is on the left. He can reach it, but it'll be a long iron, and a long iron from the sand at this situation will be a very difficult ask.
Well, 4 drop shots in his last 3 holes. Not the kind of approach shot that he would have wanted. Oh my goodness. He's caught the face, and he's pretty fortunate that it's come out there, really. Could have gone anywhere. Sometimes you have to laugh.
Yeah, went with the hybrid, got it a little bit thin. Harold must be thinking, come on, one good swing.
Well, the way things are going, he could win it outright here at 18.
That'll just come back down the hill.
Come on.
Stay there, stay on that top level. Well, that's a brilliant shot.
Oh, the 24-year-old, only been a pro just over a year, maybe a chance for a first EuroPro Tour win. We heard earlier from him that he won on the MENA Tour. Try to bite off more here, or was it just a miss hit?
Yeah, it was a miss hit. He got his hands in a very low position. He dropped His bad shot is when his hands drop down too low behind him, and then he's playing catch up.
Got to find the padding surface here. Looks away in disgust. It was heading left. Oh my goodness.
That'll just finish in a little swale there.
Well, he's played 3, and of course his playing partner, his main opponent's played 2, so they've played the same amount of shots now, haven't they, in terms of the tournament. I mean, it's all to play for, and I have to say again right now, Harold's favourite, Woolgar's got to really get this up and down.
He's got a good lie. It's awkward. It's across the hill, left to right, coming down towards the hole.
Oh, tremendous. What a shot given what's gone before. No guarantee yet of making his 5, but, well, that could have been a disastrous finish. And his friends are going through the mill, aren't they? Going through the ringer.
Well, this then is to win, is it?
Yes, it is. It's a birdie putt for Harold to win it. Steady, steady. Well, what's going to happen next? Well, one or two of them thinking, well, if I'd have made a few more birdies, I could have been going for this. Woolgar, just for a bogey, does make great up and down. So at worst, it's a playoff for George Woolgar at 11 under. But look at that finish. All started with the 6 at the par 5 13th, but
so this to take us into a playoff. Inside right, positive up the hill.
So extra holes required at the WPT Championship at the Oxfordshire. A quite incredible finish, and I think everyone's a little stunned, to be honest. They will battle again. Woolgar and Harold can't be separated after 54 holes. And in the end, the likes of Greg Payne, Max Smith and Tim Dykes missed out on the playoff by just a solitary stroke. Unbelievable finish here. And more to come as well in the playoff.
George Woolgar and William Harold have had such an emotionally draining afternoon already. Just working out who goes first on this 18th for this first playoff hole. The emotion, the drama is only going to increase in the next couple of moments.
So, down the 18th again. Went left off the tee first time. Likes that one, Woolgar.
Yeah, started this down the right with his favourite draw, and that one is bounding up the fairway.
Have to say, it was a great up and down from him, wasn't it?
Stunning, really was. But interesting, you know, Greg Payne, who's finished tied for 3rd, has played 9 shots less in the last 6 holes than than obviously one of our leaders.
And what about Tim Dykes? He bogeyed the last as well. You know, what must he be thinking now? And it looks a little bit trouble here for Harold, who's gone down that left-hand side. Woolgar in prime position.
Just needs to hit the green, really, to put the pressure on. This is match play situation. He's done that. From the sand. Seemed to strike it okay. Has he got enough of it? Oh, he has. Stay there.
Great shot.
Really was.
Hit your putter.
Well, it has been a stunning finish. Sometimes we say the word unbelievable and it can be overused, but I think it was an unbelievable finish here. And that's a stunning shot, which means, well, Woolgar really can do no worse than 2-putt this. And not guaranteed to do that from there. Dear. William Harold right now, a red-hot favourite. Wow, how close to being the winner. So a par 4 for William Harold. Is it enough? at this first extra hole.
What a fantastic putt. Now that was guts.
Tremendous. Well, so they go on. That was so close to dropping though for Harold. It would have made Woolgar's attempts completely superfluous. So here they go again.
Starting down the centre, just drifting it to the left. Has he found sand? No. That's okay. Of course, down the left, you'd actually take a little bit of yardage out of this hole. This also towards the left side. And that's fine. That's a corker.
Yeah, just one top 10 this season from William Harold. Obviously going to have his best result on the EuroPro Tour, whatever happens here. But boy, would he like that win. Of course, Woolgar knows victory takes him to #1 on the rankings.
This is more like it. It's online, this one. Doesn't quite get it up the hill onto the correct level, but that's okay. Left himself an uphill putt.
Well, it would have looked fabulous from where he was, right at the flag. Might start to work down the slope, is it? No, it stayed there. Striking the ball beautifully, isn't he now, Harold?
His rhythm has stayed with him, even in this amphitheatre.
Never threatening from Woolgar. Tough, isn't it, up that slope to just give it enough hit.
But you're always wary if you give it too much hit, you're left with a tricky downhill, and that's what's faced here. Slippery downhill left to righter. Steady, steady.
Oh. He's had, what, 3 attempts now on this green for the win, Harold. And 3 times he's just been unable to do it. Oh my goodness. Well, it's been that kind of day, hasn't it, Ross?
I don't believe he missed that. He's aimed it up the right-hand side, expecting it to draw, and it stayed straight. So it means that Woolgar's got a tap in for his second win.
Well, victory's finally his on the most dramatic of days at the Oxfordshire. George Woolgar wins the WPT Championship on a day when it looked as if he might have let it slip through his fingers.
Well, I'm with William Harold. William, well played today. How are you feeling at the moment?
A little bit gutted, but it's good. I would have took second at the start of the week, but once you get in that position 3 times in a row, or I say 3 times, 3 chances to maybe win the tournament, you feel it's going to feel a little bit depressing. But no, it's good. It's still my best finish on the EuroPros.
Well, victory for George Woolgar, and it means he has a lead of almost £9,000 now at the top of the 888 Poker PGA EuroPro Tour Order of Merit. Just to remind you, the top 5 will reach and get their Challenge Tour cards for 2014. George, he's done it again. Silverware for the 2nd time this season for Woolgar.
George, many congratulations. That was an absolute roller coaster for us all to watch. How was it for you to take part in?
Yeah, I don't really remember much of it, but yeah, it was a bit of a shocker, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know what quite happened the last couple of holes, but that's golf, you know. Things happen. You can't control it. You just got to stay patient and hit one shot at a time. I tried to do that, and I came on top.
Well, let me just ask you about that 18th. What was going through your mind when you played 3, you'd come up here behind us, and you really knew you had to get up and down, and it was a tough one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Tommy Orton would have been quite proud of me in that one. I've done quite a bit of short game work with Tommy Orton in the past, but yeah, it was just one of those. You just got to pick your spot and let the
Come on, what were you thinking at that point?
I was just trying to chip it in. I thought I needed to chip that in and make par. Obviously it was a difficult shot, but again, I had a chance, and then it rolled about 7 foot away, and I'm thinking, right, okay. you know, this putt needs to go in, and I eventually got it.
Well done, George. Very popular winner today. Well done to both of you in the playoff as well. You played so well, and I know the crowd here really enjoyed watching both of you. And congratulations, ladies and gentlemen, George Woolgar.
3 more events to go for this season. Next up, we're in Scotland to the fabulous Montrose Links for event number 13. Well, what a dramatic day it's been at the Oxfordshire. George Woolgar chalking off victory in the end, the WPT Championship. From Ross McFarlane and myself, Richard Kaufman, goodbye for now.